West, y'all.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the 135 Footy Show. I'm joined again by my co-host, I guess, and one of our columnists from the West Network, Simon Amani. How's it going, mate?
Man, also Seki, brother. I'm well, man. Good to see you, bro. How's Fiki, mate? Kamalo's been in Fiji
Oh, Fiji was
last few days, bro. How was it?
it's quite good, mate. Oh, bit of a I was acting like a tourist over there, real different, different from Samoa, not the same, eh? You kind of stay in like a touristy village. Yeah, so but awesome trip. Weather wasn't the best. Overcast the first couple of days, but then then it rained the last two.
Watch a bit of footy while you're there, or
I caught a couple of the games. Yeah, yeah. How about yours? How's the weekend? You get into some of the games as well?
a couple of the games, bro. There was a handful of good ones there, bro. Warriors game was a good one. They packed it out over here, eh? So fans
Oh,
wrapped
that's
that
right.
one
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
Friday night.
Yeah, that would have
Entertaining
been a
game.
good
Good win
Friday.
against the Titans.
Yeah, man.
The next night there was I think three games on the Saturday. I got a couple of them. Great game, Bronx and the North Queensland Cowboys, bro. Was fucking one of the probably the most entertaining of the round for me. Broncos got lucky in that one, and then yeah, got a good one between the Sharks and the Rabbitohs also. Hey, couple of teams just to
Ah,
make it interesting. Couple of
yeah, the
teams who
Sharks.
probably not has been traveling as well as both teams would have liked, but man, it's the next couple of games will be definitely important for these two teams because you would think with the quality in both teams that they'll be there. Come finals time. But yeah, and the last couple of games, I don't. To be honest, bro, just squizzle at the highlights, but no real view on those, bro. You catch the Sunday game,
Ah,
Phillies
yeah, yeah. That's
Titans
the last game of
Knights. How about those
the.
Knights also? Ponga is coming too. Are they got enough to make it or what?
They're looking good, man. They're especially staying on their run. I think I caught some of that game as well on the highlights. Um, but yeah, before we jump into it, man, I thought I just jumped to some of our comments. Thanks for our listeners and watchers, and those putting in some feedback. So I wanted to jump into some of our comments off back of our one of our YouTube episodes, mate. Um, and there was one where you're getting a bit heated against the Warriors with your comments or something, mate. And some of I don't know if the listeners appreciated some of your comments here. Um, we got we got Letty Smith here saying, "Put the gloves on, Oi, and see whose team's the best." He said, "Para will still be number one of the top four teams." So thank you, Letty Smith.
I really want to know what he's on about. Like, I've given the Warriors plenty of props. I praised them for what an awesome year they've had so far. But so, man, if I've said anything to butt hurt anyone out there, I just want to apologize for absolutely nothing, bro. This everyone's opinion. But what? All I said is that they're playing well, but in my opinion, won't win the comp. If that's gonna make you sucky, keep the comments coming. I love it. I love it.
Is Mark Dawson Bruce 4457 agrees with you. Broncos versus Panthers final. Warriors finished third or fourth. 2024 Warriors year.
Sensible comment. And I can see he's basing on the evidence that's been presented so far. But again, bro, I wouldn't count out the Warriors. That as long as Johnson is there, he's done in the past. He could pull out a miracle, bro, and deliver them their first premiership. As long as you're in that top four, you just never know who else.
Right, the top four. That's our aim. We got we got a few comments here. I probably shouldn't bring them up, but I thought I would because they're funny. So on my screen I have you and Roger on the right hand side, and I've got these several comments saying two right head, the two on the right have coconut heads, and I ain't even a Warriors fan. Two bros on the right just sound like salty haters. The two bros on the right are clueless. The guy in the green, which was you, is a bit thick, I think.
There's
I,
another.
I feel like there's a lot of these are the same Warriors fans I think you met at Mount Smart Stadium that night.
There's nothing new, disgruntled Warriors fans. Keep it
All
coming,
right,
man. I
let's
really like the
let's
feedback.
lead.
I enjoy the
Let's go
feedback.
to something a bit more positive and constructive. So hey, just a shout out. Like if you guys like a good read, jump to the wizwiznet.com website. Simon's put out a latest article there on the website. The new breed of Pacifica front rowers. So you wrote an article in there, bro, and we posted it up on some of the socials. Some good comments here. So Ra Coffee comes back in regards to your list of players you mentioned in your front rowers list, and he said too many to list, but some that special mentions he's got is Roya Sotasi, Joe Vangana, yeah, he agreed Palestina,
Oh,
Moses
nice,
Leota,
nice.
Funua Blake,
Yeah.
Taukiaho, Junior Polo, Cassiano,
Mm,
Andrew Fafita. So he said
yeah.
hard to pick
Oh,
five.
Fafita. Man, you know what? Rare coffee was it?
Yeah, Ra Coffee, man.
Man, Fafita, love it for the feedback. I mentioned most people on that list, but there's a couple that you put in there that, man, apologies. I don't know if I'd still squeeze them in my top five, but definitely worthy of a mention, man. Roy Asotasi, big part of what the resurgence of that Rabbitohs team in the late 2000s. There, bro, he had a good heat. He came out. He won a premiership with the doggies, and just that like Mialamu style, low to the ground, leg power, always making meters, quick play of the ball. So yeah, big ups to Roy. He was one of the fucking one of the first, in that new breed of prop, with just a bit smaller body but close, got that leg speed. And big one that I forgot to mention was Andrew Fafita, and just the dominance that he showed over, maybe over the course of 2 or 3 years. He was at the top of his game in terms of props.
Yeah, yeah.
Representing New
Unfortunately,
South
just injury,
Wales
eh?
that year that they won 2016, he was one of the best, better players in that team that won in 2016. So again, worthy of a mention. I put him in my five, and I appreciate a bit more comments on anyone out there who's probably got a bit more experience than me, and looking in the comp in the 80s, 90s, we used to call it the Winfield Cup back then. But any of the special mention of the Pacifica brothers that have played on that level, in the NRL level, you look at it now, it's so full, and a lot of depth of a lot of the boys with Pacifica heritage in them. So it's really proud as one ourselves, and we speak on this podcast from a Pacifica a point of view. So it's good to get these guys on this platform, comparing them to the best of the best. When I went with Wiki and Seven Deceiver. It just was hard to separate for me. I think I just give it to Wiki with his overall NRL record. I think Seven Deceiver as a team probably achieved more than Wiki, but they both got mean CVs. Remember Wiki over 300 games, captain his country, won won the World Cup or one of the part of the 2005 series. Um, yeah, but then I ended up put Josh Papali'i in there because even though he's still playing, he's what he's done in the part of that Queensland pack and still going, and was probably the best prop for a
Should have
space of
been there
about three or
this year,
four
man. Yeah.
years. And then where I rounded, I threw Kurt Sorensen in there, bro, because him and his brother Dane was one of the OGs. Big tough men. Represented the Cronulla Southern Sharks. I mean, Haas, bro, number five, who, in my opinion, he keeps going for the next 5 years, probably at the number one.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, go check out the article if you want to have a read on that. Just some comments as well. Round out our comments here. Just off the back of our discussion last week around some of the game's fastest. And if we wanted to look at those 8 lanes, Alex Ngarua, he agrees with you that Hamiso Tabuai Fido definitely up there. And Kerry Johnston added into the list, agreeing with some and adding a few others I'm not sure about, but let's see your take. She's put in, or he has put in Jason Saab, Dom Young, Dylan Watene, Josh Shadoka, Ryan Pappenhausen, Jack Whiten, and Brian To'o in no particular order, but there's his fastest.
Mm.
Hers
No,
fastest.
no Saab in there. Did he say
Yeah,
no,
Jason Saab in there, but
no Saab,
I'm
no
more
hammer?
surprised that no Hammer in there. Uh, DWZ gets in,
Yep.
Pappenhausen's in there, and
I
Jack Whiten.
I agree with all that. I don't think Watson. I'll put in hammer over Watson. I'll throw Saab in there. Maybe that's your eight. That's a good list, bro. Some
Cool.
speed.
Nice. Thanks for the comments, guys, and thanks for listening. All right. Cool, man. Before we jump to looking at last week's games, anything around the traps that you noticed that stood out to you from last week's games?
Yeah, bro. I think I can feel a bit of that intensity levels rising, and with that comes a bit more. Man, it comes a bit more. The forwards fire up a bit more, eh? Coming off their line, looking at changing things. And I wanted to talk about this player in your team who can just come out of the line, bro, and risk it, but pull off one of those mean ass hits, eh? And
Oh yeah, just
and
game
it,
changer.
bro, and it's always awesome to play with someone like that. Hey, you go back to what a meta days, man. Guys like Mike Ahio, 72 to bowl,
Little Mike.
Jagger,
Oh yeah, nah, Jagger,
these guys will
Jagger,
just
fold
come,
guys
just fold
anytime.
guys. And I think what the weekend showed was 4 times these these guys come off their line trying to do a big hit and got it wrong. But I just want to bring it up. We highlighted a bit of that. Um, inconsistency with each call. There was a couple of that was sent off, which I was like, man, I don't know if that was worthy enough. Well,
Yeah,
that one Mo
it's been a
definitely,
while since we've had a send off, so I think that's what
yeah,
took a lot
Futuaka
of people by
definitely
surprise.
deserved that one because he knocked them out.
Yeah,
So I think red cards definitely, if they knock him out, it causes the other player to not return. Then that should be always I read in my mind.
but what if they stay down?
Well, and then
They go
that's
for
it.
HIA and then they come back.
See, now we're getting into a grey area.
Well, yeah, and I guess if that's what we saw last week, and it can change, and have a team at 12 because we haven't seen it. Like,
What about these guys? They keep copying it, copying big hits to the face, but play on. Are these
well,
not
that's the
dangerous?
thing.
Do these
Yeah,
constant head
yeah.
knocks,
And I
just
guess you look
because
at
he didn't get
Charles
knocked out?
Bohutok's. He's one of
Mm,
the guys who would shake that off. Like I say, he plays so hard and
yeah,
competitive. He looks like he's hurt every time, but he'll
mm,
shake it off and
yeah,
get up. And so for him to actually be off was
yeah.
it is
But
quite
I,
significant.
it's something that part of the game which I just absolutely love. I loved it when I was on the field seeing it live, and I love seeing it because you could be, backs to the wall, haven't touched
Yeah.
the ball in ages, and you get someone who can just
Well, you
turn
look
the
at that
game
Melbourne game.
with
Olam is
big,
someone
massive
who
force and
definitely could have
error.
pulled something like that off.
Yeah, but
Just yeah,
what I'm saying now is a couple of things. One, definite kind of clampdown, especially in this day and age where player safety and all these knocks to the head and what's been happening with Wally
well, we
Lewis just
spoke
come
about
out.
Wally last
That's
week. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And so and two, these players that we talk about, we love. Guys like the Roosters, Warrior Hugger, there are a couple in there. That's probably why they struggle because the Roosters that style, you nullify that big fucking powerful forward pack will just come off the line and do hits. Sorry, his name, the number 13 for the Roosters.
Victor Radley.
Guys like him, players like him, um, Burgess still got sent off. He's still good to see him still going. But I think these big fellas doing hits. Are we facing? Are we just trying to face these guys out of the game? Because I think they're still. room for that as long as you just
Yeah, yeah.
get your level correct, bro.
Well,
You
that's the
know,
thing. Like,
aim.
and I guess folding, you can't fold a guy when you're hitting him that high. That's the thing. Like, you need to be getting lower if you're expecting to fold people. And yeah, yeah, I'm the same. Like, it makes such a big difference. Like, that is part of the game. Like, that is what can turn a game, what can swing momentum as well. Just getting the team up again, but it has to be executed well. Yeah, I don't like the inconsistency in the way they've been calling it.
And what about these not so dangerous? What about these hit highs that like you don't get from someone flying out the line, but you might get an accidental or a little bump.
Yeah, the whiplash.
Then
Yeah,
you
I
get
don't agree
then
with the
you get
whiplash either because it gets real hard. Like,
then you get some of those ones
yeah,
on players that are doing the old Hollywood styles.
yeah, yeah,
And bro,
exactly.
and then they pulled it
Oh,
up like
Jordan Ruppin is one of the worst.
a
Jordan Ruppin
couple
is
of
annoys me just how much he
a
milks them.
couple of plays later. It's like,
Yeah,
oh come on. So
yeah.
this is what you got to do now. Go put an Oscar award. A lot of the Warriors players do that really well on
Oh,
their team.
whoa, whoa,
You
no way,
know, you know, soon,
bro. Well, what was Alofi pulling what tennis here for, man?
soon as you get the someone trying to put on there, it just slows down the players more. You know they're trying to look at that replay. It's like, oh come on, get on with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So yeah, I know they got to protect the players, but yeah, it's something that I'd really hate if they took out the heavy contact and made it.
because that's what's
Then
happened to
again, like
rugby
they're
union.
trying to they're trying to get positive contact because the alternative is getting it wrong. Now we've taken away the hip drop, like they need to reward the you mentioned or maybe Stacy mentioned the legs tackle. It needs to be rewarded, and it's you look at a team like the Panthers, elbows and knees pretty much every single tackle. And so if you can't get those guys in a legs tackle, they're stepping out of that and playing the ball quickly every time. There needs to be the ref taking some control of good positive leg tackles. As soon as they get someone down and take them to ground, the ref should call it a tackle but allow it to be dominant. Like you can't just have guys, getting a good tackle in like that, and that's why you're forcing the players to try and put on these really big hits to keep the player either in the air or to get them down and playing the ball a lot slower. So yeah, there's a real balance, but yeah, I don't think sending people off is the answer either. Like, yes, it gets done wrong, but that I was just, I mean, the Warriors did well to win that game, and they should have won it comfortably. So the Titans did well with 12 men for probably 60 minutes of the game. Hey, Kaden, night.
But this is what I
Um,
think, bro. If and you know what, I just want to touch on the Burgess one because he come out flying with his kind of like just upright body, bro, straight on, and his arms were out. So he didn't have time to drop the shoulder and do anything. He just came up flying. But who was it? Wangalo Footy, who the Sharks player was in, that he ran it up to Burgess, and he's the one that initiated the contact, where he drove his head into the shoulder, into the like upper body pick slash shoulder area of Burgess. So it was the guy attacking player causing initiating that contact, knocked himself out. Whereas Bridges didn't really do anything. He didn't drop his shoulder. He just stayed kind of upright, kind of that style
mm-mm.
with his arms. But because of his history, he got 3 weeks. So he's basically out unless Rabbitohs make the finals again because there's 3 games left. So I don't know. Big out for them, bros. Put them under pressure, eh? So what do you think of that one, bro? Do you think it was so? Sorry to rave on, but this is the
No,
only
no, that's
point I want to make.
yeah, yeah,
Do a head high shot, shoulder to anywhere on the chin, face, and that guy gets knocked out or he has to leave the field, then that's a red card.
yeah.
Everything else, that's a ref score. He calls it a penalty,
Mm.
it's a penalty. If not, move on. And if they find something afterwards, then the judiciary can sort it at the
So
judiciary.
yeah, okay.
Fine
So
him
not using the sin bin
or
at all. It's
charge
either
him.
sent off or
Yeah,
if
but you
they're
just take
they're
it on the
okay to
ref.
play on.
Take it on the ref score. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because all this, what's a sin bin, what's not? because you can't
Mm.
fucking sin bin every head high.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the thing. They should, yeah, it makes
Because
sense. I think they should
we're gonna
even
get
it,
these guys doing Hollywoods all the time.
mm or at least Sinbin. They should be Sinbin at least. Like, so I think, yeah, I don't know if they should be doing levels and making it that
That's what I
complicated.
mean. What do you think? Head highs are worthy for sin bins?
Well, the same thing. So if the player goes off for HIA, then it should be a sin bin because you've lost the player essentially for 10 minutes, and you shouldn't have. So you think if your player's HIA,
Okay, okay.
he's off the field for 10 minutes. So definitely the person who's made contact should be off the field for 10 minutes. If
But
that player gets down
you
and
guys
gets
don't
back up,
lose,
then it goes on report.
but you won't lose a player.
That's the thing.
You get
So if your
replaced.
player comes back
You
from the
actually get a
HIA,
free replace. You get a free replacement.
only if the HIA fails. That's what I mean. So
Mm.
if it fails, and then it's a send off as well. So the sin bin upgrades to a send off if that HIA fails. If
Mm.
the HIA fine and they come back on the field, then the
Well,
sin bin player comes back.
I don't think every head high. So then you ask yourself, as a ref, so are you going to give every head high a 10 minute now,
If it's a
or
HIA,
is that like
if it's
a
bad enough,
okay,
because you get
okay,
those guys who just do the
okay?
and then it's report 10 minutes, and then they're playing the ball like
What
it's
about
bad
two?
enough for him to go sin bin, but
What about
you
they looked
playing
at
the ball.
something 2 or 3 plays later, and they found out to take this guy off? You gonna go and give the
Nah,
other guy Simon?
nah, nah. If they've missed it and the guy's able to get up and play on, then it's not bad enough.
All right,
They can
nice,
go do the
nice.
HIA later, but that's on them. Can't catch it all. I think yeah, it's another one of those things. But we can't have guys. Yeah. It should the
It's a
crowd
big
should
call
match.
to give someone a Simon. It just changes the whole
Yeah,
course
well,
of the
that's why.
match.
Yeah, that's why I don't. So that's where I don't want to make it black and white. So I know it's not an easy thing for them to do, but it should. Like I agree with the. It should match. Like if the guy is okay to get up and play the ball, then there shouldn't be a sin bidding, even if it looked like a really bad hit. If he can get up and play on, and then it should be continued. It should be just put on report, and we'll deal with it later. But for teams to, especially as we get to the pointy edge of the season, these are decisions that I mean that was it the Dragons one? And they came out and said the decision was wrong. These
Mm.
decisions are really with the competition so tight. They can't be getting it wrong, especially when you got this many cameras and the bunkers, pulling up dumb things that make no difference. But things like this, they need to get in there with their cameras and actually make a right call on it, or at least make it effective that it doesn't disadvantage any team just because of someone pulling a Hollywood or
Yeah.
making a tackle. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see how they ref it over these next few weeks. Probably something that's that they're experimenting, or probably, and maybe it was something planned. Like I guess that's the thing. The fact that we've had two send offs in a row over 2 nights when we haven't had any for a while, or maybe not at all this season. Not that I can remember. So it's
How
quite
you,
interesting that
how you
we
gonna
get
be
two
like?
send-offs.
Sorry to cut you off, Uzo. As a coach, what do you
Mm.
tell your what do you tell these players, bro, that do this? Because Broncos have got Fletcher, who can be a ulukai. He's one in our team that's a hit man. But come finals time, bro, you don't wanna put the flame out on this. You want your front rows firing, eh? But just
Yeah.
don't cross that line.
Wow. Yeah. No,
But
I think that's the thing. Good coaching. Good coaching is
yeah, do you
where you
think
get them to
as
keep that, but you just tell them, look, just get that technique right. Because the same thing. These guys, when they do it, none of them go out there to be reckless. They're going there to affect the tackle, and a lot of the times they're getting stepped last minute, or they've
yes,
reached the player too
that's
early, and so
right.
it's just mistakes. These guys are professionals,
Yeah.
and so they're never going out there intentionally trying to just take the guy's
Yeah.
head off. It's
And
just
also
technique
there's
and just
no
bad.
you don't hear too much about the ball carrier. Like what you mentioned, late feet. You get a lot of
Mm.
talented players who, once they change angle, and the defender's so
That
close
guy's coming
that
across. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, him changing that line. Now your line is going straight for his
Yeah,
shoulder,
because
bro.
sometimes they're coming in as the
Yeah,
second tackler, like, oh yeah, he'll
yeah.
take the hit. I'm gonna
Tackler's
come and
always chopped
support.
his head.
All of a sudden, he's the first tackler. And I'm like, oh flip, I'm here too early.
That's right.
You were not meant to be here, mate.
Yeah, but
My shoulder was going for your shoulder, but
exactly, bro. So it's a simple thing. Keep fucking
Mhm.
coming, keep hitting hard. Just get that line right, bro. Don't hit the head.
Yeah,
Simple as that.
and I think that'll come out with the good coaches. Um, so I think Adam Reynolds will probably have to have a talk to guys like Fletcher, Flegler, make sure that he pulls it in.
Well, we need him,
You know,
bro. We need him
your coach Adam
firing
Reynolds.
for the next 4 or 5 games.
You guys are lucky you got a good player coach in Adam Reynolds. One thing I'd say, he's been doing well.
Mm. Oh, but bro, probably one of the Broncos' best buys in history. This team's going well because of him.
Well, yeah, again, yeah, that base of the team is pretty much the same you had a couple of years ago.
Are we ripping
But with
into a quick review, bro?
yeah, yeah, actually, let's jump to those games. We'll start with Did you catch that the Warriors game? I'll start with my Warriors,
Yeah,
mate.
bro. I
I heard
did,
you
bro. I
mention that.
did. I did.
Um,
It was over here, bro. How'd you think, brother?
Big game. Well, yeah, it would have been a big game over there at Seabus. Titans coming off an awesome one against the Cowboys of all people. So the Warriors had to be ready for this, knowing that it was going to be a tough um, Titans team. Um, yeah, just real happy. Like I guess the tough game. Like it started off, real um, head to head, and then I guess we've mentioned it, Mo for the week because um, oh well, his sending off. But what was it with the Randall? Very similar hit team. But our player doesn't go off,
Mm,
and he just gets to continue on. So that was quite an interesting call. So I don't know if that was just that's what forced the ref's hand on Mo.
mm. Yeah, could be right. Nah, but the Mo one's always going to be a red card, especially because Chance just couldn't return.
Yeah, and so was the Marata Niokore, was that like a leveling up kind of sin bin, was it? With that Kaya excuse of a slap, which the ref charged him with for slapping Fafita's face, he got marched 10 minutes, mate.
It
That's
was,
just
it was, but I want to go by the rules, bro. That's ill discipline. What?
for
So
what?
can we go
For what?
around?
Touching his face, just seeing
Are
like, oh, bro,
we?
what kind of mouth guard do you use, bro?
Are we,
It's so
are
nasty.
we are we telling our kids, okay, slap the guy just before he plays the ball?
Mate,
Is
you
that
see him
what we're
like
telling our kids?
he's just trying to
Yeah,
check how close his
slap,
shave was. You
is
see him go
slapping
like that.
allowed? Is slapping allowed? You're
Was
trying
it a slap? You
you're trying to
define
get
that as a slap?
he's he's
You see
he,
the slapping,
he's made his tackle.
mate. It's
It was
sport.
the
You know,
half
there's an
flop.
actual sport now. You
Let
see
him
these
go, bro.
people.
Let him go.
Yeah,
Let
I
him
bet
play the
your
ball.
kid's probably on his iPad watching that
But what did
slapping
he do?
game.
What
You
did he
see
do?
UFC got slapping. That
So
slapping.
okay, if you're a
He
marker
caressed
boys,
his cheek.
you
He
can
caressed his cheek.
you can slap his. What did Pavita do wrong? He's he's trying to fucking he just made 15 meters on he's got the fucking player of the ball dominant and he gets a slap in the face. Bro,
Man,
good
that's yeah.
call. Stamp that out of the game. None of these
One thing for
handbagging,
Fida, man.
bro. He
He
took
was a
that,
monster in that game.
bro. He stood up and he's been a big difference since Origin. His
Yeah,
game's gone to a new level. So you guys got tested, and the Warriors did well to come back, bro, because you didn't have it all your way.
yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
pity they lost that extra player. Because imagine if a fit firing full bench. Campbell opened you guys up a couple of times, bro. So it was
He
an
was
entertaining game,
awesome.
bro. You
Yeah.
were worried, though. You know you were worried when you
Nah,
saw it.
so that I think that was especially off the back of that the Raiders game before this, when the Raiders did the same, they threatened to come back, um, and they came up level, and that kind of reflected the way we played out that
Is that
last
a
10 minutes.
concern also? Is that a concern
Nah,
that
so I
you
think it,
guys
it
are
was actually
allowing
quite a good thing to
going out to a
see.
lead and giving up that lead and having to come back?
Nah, so this one was actually a good, exactly what I wanted to see from the Warriors is how Johnson finished out that last 10 minutes, and you see him take
Hmm.
control of that last 10 minutes of the game,
Yeah.
where starting to kick long again, not trying to do the little cute kick over the top moves and kicking short and kind of trusting out our D, just going dead, getting down in the right zone so we could play
Where do you
good
see
ball.
their threats, bro? Where can how do the Warriors score on you, bro? It's a
On
low
the on
risk.
So it's definitely in the forward. So it's real direct attack. And I think that's the thing with the Warriors is sticking to that game plan.
How good's Egan
Um,
going, bro? One of the
man,
Form 9s,
see,
eh?
told you, man. I've been rapping Egan for a while, and he's just been looking better and better. And again, that's one thing I mentioned last week
I'd
is
probably
that
rate him as the best service,
some of the
best passing
some of
nine.
these higher teams, that's probably one thing you're missing. You look at the Panthers, they're going good guns, but they're doing that off the back of a Mitch Kenny and Sonny Luke, who hasn't seen much game time, but they definitely, they're not looking like they miss Uppy right now. But I think in
That ball
these
playing
tighter
nine,
games that
that's
that
so much
might come
different,
to
eh?
play. Yeah, yeah. You think what the Maroons did to that New South Wales Panthers kind of play where Yo goes out.
Yeah.
Once I'm not I'm surprised teams aren't doing the same. They've seen what Billy did with the Origin team and how he shut that down. Yet, yeah, I don't know if it's with the
I
rest of the
like.
Panthers pack having Fisher Harris there that they're able to execute a lot better.
I think the Warriors will go downfield on any team, bro. They'll make their meters. They got. I think there's good room to have a little change in the tech when. It's good to see. Wait for your old Jazz Tevanga back on the bench because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
could
yeah.
play
He's
him as a
pretty
running
fast in the
nine.
middle.
Give
Mm,
Egan because Egan's been going well playing big minutes, but you
yep.
give him a rest and have Tevanga in there for a good 20 25 minutes. It also changes their point of attack as well because he's a ball playing nine, a runner, strong runner who can pass. But bring on Egan again in that last 10 15 minutes, quick legs. You got him, Johnson, you got ball players, Tohu Harris across the park, man. You guys, I think out wide, you guys can free up your outsides as good as any team in the comp, bro. It's on defense, eh? That's really going to test you guys. Can you shut out the bigger teams, man?
Yeah. So it'll be good. I mean, and again, we've still got some really big ins that are still waiting on the sidelines to get back in. Tomato is still waiting there. He's just about ready to come back.
Oh, he's not going to
Um,
make it, bro. Well, this
just in
laid
time
out,
for finals, mate. You
you
never
make some
know.
changes. Well, how
Oh,
good's
yeah. I
Mika
mean, it's
been
just
going?
good to have them in the wings. Is coming into this final times, you got to have backups on backups. So yeah, real gutsy win from the Warriors. Good to see some of that. Being able to finish a 10 minute. That last 10 of the game, and so again, like I'm positive for the Warriors. Saw some stuff like what you mentioned, that comeback. So I think that's something they'll want to crack down on. Is probably getting a better start and also trying to make sure that once they've got their dominance, just being, yeah, I guess like Webster coming from that Panthers kind of mold, just that ruthlessness.
Mm.
Once you're on top, being able to go on with it. So I think that's something that they'll be looking at over the next few weeks. And some of their game plans. Again, you kind of mentioned they're not getting the probably high caliber kind of games that they're going to need coming into finals. But I think what the benefit they'll get with these teams that are in the bottom eight is the ability to kind of work through their game plan, look at areas, and just focus on those. So get the job done, but they're probably just working through little micro parts of their game at the moment.
They're definitely in there, bro.
Um,
They got to win the rest of their games, bro. So it's just 6 points that
yeah, and so I
uh,
think it's what they're taking
cemented in
away
the
from
four,
those wins. Yeah.
cemented in the four, and they'll be tough to beat. If they were to come up against Penrith or the Broncos, it's a dangerous team, bro. The Warriors.
Yes, they are. All right, man. Let's jump over to your Broncos now. Um, yeah. What are your thoughts, mate? Are lucky to get away with this one, or
No,
yeah,
I think it's an entertaining game also. I
yeah, it's
think
a bit of a back and forth one. It was good.
Cowboys weren't totally got blown off the park in this one. They managed to come back and make it even. But even the first half, that first 15 20 minutes was so quality, almost like Origin type, just the speed of the game. And the Cowboys got
And you
that
gotta expect today from the just the original, like they were mentioning. This is the original Queensland derby.
Queensland Derby, yeah. So,
So to see it being played out so well, like just
yeah, the score blew out to 30-14, and I think what's kind of what was pleasing for Warriors, for Broncos fans, sorry, is losing Reynolds.
Yeah,
but
no, it's
still
a
having
bit.
the
Yeah,
firepower. And look, we won 30-14. We left like two or three tries out there.
yeah. What
We
was that?
opened them up a couple of times. Pierre Cuda was in the open. He missed Walsh coming around the outside on the right hand side. We had Thomas Fletcher make a break straight up the middle, bro, and he had
Yeah, that was a
Ezra Mann
massive
on his
break.
outside. Didn't let that one go. I mean, I think Cobber might have missed one when Walsh hit him. Um, so, like on attack, it's we're confident enough. Oh, I'm confident enough as a fan that we have the outsides. Probably one of the best in the comp going around. They're four man quartet of centers. I think Herbie and Katoni are probably two of the better center combinations going around. Probably the most dangerous at the moment, bro. So it's scary. These guys need space, bro. And Walsh and Reynolds will provide for them. The thing for the Broncos is that they got the defense to keep out to match it with Penrith, and I'll put Storm in that category. I'll put you guys in that category because, like I said, I'm happy that our attack can beat anyone. I just think Penrith, there's a bit of a gap between Penrith and the rest of the comp. Eh? Yeah, we'll touch on that one, but man, it was great win against the Cowboys. Put them
Yeah,
under pressure.
especially at Townsville.
But
That was
if I was the coach, I'll be pleased because we don't have a top. So it's a good game that we still missing Jordan Ricky to come on the second row. Even our bench, Hetherington's not there. Topo is probably I think it's not one more week after suspension. So these young cats have been doing well, bro. Jock Madden fit in really well for the Broncos. Awesome kicking game. So yeah, bro, confident there'll be a big game coming up for both teams. Eels and the Broncos. They will test the Broncos,
yeah,
bro.
that's gonna be
Especially
interesting.
Eels coming off a loss because they've touched us up a couple of times in the past. But yeah, bro. Mighty Bronx keep rolling. Also,
Nice. All right. The next game on that, the Panthers Storm game. Um, I watched this one on replay. Did you watch this one live?
I did also. What a game! What a game! We were missing. The big out for me was Jerome Hughes.
Yeah, yeah. That was that a late withdrawal.
Yeah,
Did you
there
get a
was a
late
late withdrawal.
format
Also,
with?
because I did it after my picks, because I thought Storm might come with a bit of an upset, but Storm were poor as well. Um, what's his name?
Harry
Grant,
Grant had a
Harry
few
Grant.
little errors in him.
Yeah, that's right. So I think Penrith were just on top of their game, and Storm couldn't match it. The forwards couldn't match it. They're like a well-oiled machine, also, and it's nothing new that they probably added on like the running game, how different ways they can score on you, how they got ball players just all across the park, also. Starting with Yeo to Cleary to Luai. These cats can find anyone in place, and like the wingers have been just putting the
But
ball down in
every
the
year,
corners.
well, that was the thing. So I watched this game and I didn't watch the last 20. I just got angry watching them. So I just really kind of got into it, just trying to look for, just as we head into the finals and just thinking, what is the thing that you try and, break down on these guys to kind of get on top of
Yeah,
them? Every player, the ball, like, just, the Storm aren't like a small forward pack, but even, Fisher Harris leading the way and Leota, like you were saying, but man, just every single player, like
we're
elbows and
talking about
knees,
first
just
versus third
playing,
here,
yeah. And
and
it
they
was
just
like,
and they won
yeah,
26-6. See how much.
just so fast, like plays
Yeah.
of the ball. Probably like maybe in the last 60, I saw guys
Mm.
getting put on their backs, but just their wrestle and fight every single play. And then they get up and they just look so fast because they're on the front foot. It's disgusting to watch. just, yeah, it was not being a Storm fan, but like just you can see they're trying. It's not like through lack of effort.
Mm. When you talk about
Munster
the
was trying to do
Panthers,
a bit here and there. Yeah,
when you talk about the Panthers, bro, the Usos up front don't get as much as I mentioned as their big
yeah,
names
they're
in their
flashy.
team.
Yeah, Nathan
But
Cleary.
solid starts at the front, bro. Guys like Leota and
Yeah,
Fisher Harris, bro.
Yeah, man.
Probably the best international combination going around at the moment, bro. Because
Yeah.
they've been in that pack starting front row for the last 3 4 years, bro. And so they probably the fact that their back four makes a lot of meters, they don't get asked to do too much work. So on defense,
Yeah,
they are
yeah,
so
exactly.
dangerous on defense. They strangle teams. Zeus.
Yeah.
Fisher Harris is man. This guy has probably been the top prop for him and Payne Haas have been going at it 1 to 1, and I think Fisher Harris is at the top of his game at the moment in
Yeah,
terms
it's
of
just that D, yeah, just the energy. Yeah, I think that's the
yeah.
thing. So because Taruva and To'o are doing so many meters for that attack, they'll put in and it's not like they don't run. Like when Fisher Harris runs, he's running.
So they got
But
the
yeah,
engine.
just their wrestle. Yeah,
It
just their
seems like
wrestle when it
they're
comes on D.
faster and fitter.
Yeah,
So I
and I
don't know
think
whether
just their
that's
ability to
because
slow down the on
they're
defense.
always
And
dominating. Eh?
yeah, yeah. And you think against a team like the Storm, like the
Mm.
King of Wrestle, that's saying a lot to be able to play the
Yeah,
ball so quickly against these guys. Like that's the Storm's, DNA is to slow down your opposition. And
I
so for
wouldn't
them
discount the
to
Stormers
just struggle against them,
because
oh
Peppenhausen's back playing. You give him another couple of
yeah,
weeks,
exactly. So
and Q
that's
Cup.
that's probably something they are missing. Like again, Jerome was a huge out.
Yeah,
But just some of that finishing class as
yeah.
well. No,
That
no
spine
disrespect to
still.
Nick Meaney, he's been solid, but he's a solid fullback. Like he's not
Yeah.
a X
Well,
factor
if
fullback.
Peppenhausen comes out and not only finishes the game but starts to kill at Q Cup level, you've got to put him up there. I mean, he's safe, but he's not. He's not the center of attack with Storm. Whereas you put
Yeah,
Peppenhausen there, um,
exactly. Yeah,
it's um, it
just
just
gives you
adds
more
that extra
options.
dimension in the back.
Well, yeah, it just gives them someone else to worry about because you look once it's when there was only Munster out there, it's so much easier to know what's going to happen. It's just happening around Munster, whereas you get options when with Jerome in there, but then when Pappenhausen's hanging around, it just makes teams extra cautious because now you got so many different targets. Yeah, hopefully he returns well. So that's this week he's back.
Well, he's playing his second game in Q Cup,
Ah,
so I don't think they're going to rush him into. I don't think they're going to rush him into this week's game. So the team lists are out. So I don't know if he's in the reserves, but yeah,
yeah.
they add him in there. You still can't discount them, bro. I think they've got a lot, enough in their ammunition to finish in the top four. So maybe their fourth spot. Um, Raiders are on their heels, so who knows? Who knows? There's a Storm Broncos game in 2 weeks. That could decide the makeup of their four,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
Storm are going to be in or out.
All right. Um, Cool, man. Any of these other games you catch during the week? We got the Dolphins Knights game, Sharks Rabbits.
Um, yeah, I was happy for the Knights, bro, because I want to see Ponga, and he's one of the best players in the competition. So they're gonna be there, maybe a Whalenga Mere team, bro, but they're
They look
definitely
like
in the eight at
yeah.
the
They don't even
moment,
look like a
hovering
Fale Alamea
around.
team. They look like a decent, like an actual team.
Well, they're another a team that on the fence that's got enough to score on. They're just as dangerous as anyone as the Panthers. Um, but defensively, can they keep those other teams out, bro? So they're another team to watch. Keep your eye on the Knights, bro.
Yeah, this is probably a disappointing
Ponga
one
is
for
coming
the,
into his
the
own.
Dolphins. They look pretty good in the middle of that game.
Yeah,
Man,
they've lost a lot
Jermaine
of
gone
games
back to
close.
his Broncos days or some of the form he's been pulling off the last few weeks.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy on, mate.
Yeah. Um, and that yeah, the Rabbits game. What happened to the Rabbitohs? I thought they were on their way back up. Um, actually fallen out of the eight with this last game of theirs as well.
What's going on with them, bro? They looked. Latrell was good to see him back. He looked dangerous in parts. But defensively, they're not at the top of their game, bro. They're probably missing Totola as well. And now they're without Bridges. So a lot of pressure on their forward pack. But they still got the attacking combination, especially on their left. We saw glimpses of it with Latrell coming in back. Um, but it just looked like defensively they weren't up to it because Sharks, their tries, they opened them up big time. What's their centre made a mean break down on the right hand side.
Oh, just
Forgive me,
Remian.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Ramian just toyed with that South Sydney left hand side, opened them up and
Campbell
put
Graham.
Katoa 1-on-1 with Latrell, bro, and he
Oh
just boom,
man, yeah.
fucking
I
broke his
saw.
ankles. Big right hand step on the inside and score in the corner, bro. Was mean, bro. Old Nico's back, so it's these two teams, bro. It's a battle for eight. Rabbitohs are too good to not discount, bro. So it's a big, huge test for
Mm.
them in the next 3 weeks.
Huge win for the Sharks too. That's probably the biggest. A
Mm,
lot of you've been
big
saying
confidence
it too
booster.
all year. They smashed the bottom eight teams, but they've struggled against every top eight. So Rabbits still in the eight. And so yeah, Sharks able to seal their sixth place position for now. Off the back of that win, so probably a real good timing for them to.
It was a crucial loss for Cowboys because they're that team that's on the heels of the Rabbitohs. The Eels are in that category, just to get sneak
Yeah,
back in the eight.
yeah. So I think they were disappointed in losing to the Titans,
Mm.
and so coming up and losing against the Bronx has really hurt their chances.
You look at it, it's still a four-way team for the last three spots. You'd have to say Raiders have sewn up fifth spot, six, seven, eight. Um, you've got you've got Eels in that category. You've got Rabbitohs in that category. You've got Cowboys in that category. You even got um, the Roosters in that category.
Ooh, on 24
Um,
points, you reckon
and
they can?
yeah, well, it's still possible, bro. So Eels, Rabbitohs, Knights, Sharks. These are the teams vying for that six, seven, eight spot, bro. You, for also Rogers' purpose, a miracle mathematical chance still has Manly in it, so
Oof.
you never know.
Yeah,
You
well,
never
yeah,
know.
I
They
guess,
could
yeah.
beat
From
the
the Roosters
Warriors.
up,
They could beat the
yeah,
Warriors
two
and get
points
6 points.
outside.
27, 29, 31, 33. That puts them on if they win the rest of their games. So that might be enough for the eight.
Yeah, I think 32 looks like probably the number that you need this year.
Mm.
It's going to be an interesting race to the finals. Um,
Bring it on,
yeah,
bro. Bring it
I
on.
think our four are solid now. Panthers, Broncos, Warriors, Storm. That order may change, but I think that's your four. And then you're right. Maybe from the Raiders probably.
Yeah. How's the Raiders run home? I haven't
Let's
looked
have a
at their
quick look at the
draw,
Raiders.
but I was thinking to myself, they're probably in the they're probably in that fifth spot.
Who have they got? They got the Storm this week, so that may
Tough one.
may cause them some
Tough one.
problems. Keeps them on 30 though. Storm move up to 32 if they were to lose that. So I think you're probably right on.
Easy game. They finished with the doggies in the Bronx, so
Oh
ooh,
yeah, yeah.
good tough ride home
Actually,
for
yeah.
the Raiders.
Sharks, Broncos,
Two out of
and
three tough
Doggies.
games.
Yeah, they actually probably got a harder draw to run home. Um, who we got there? The Eels. I think the Eels has got the worst run. The Eels and the Tigers are probably the worst run home out of those teams in that last bit. Because the Eels run home is Bronx, so they've got Broncos, Roosters, so they can decide their own fate in that one,
I
and
think
then
the
they've got
Raiders get
Panthers to kind of
one
keep
more
them
win out of
safe.
that against the doggies, and they could be in there.
Yeah, but I think
But
they need to keep winning.
they're only 2 points in it. Yeah, so you could probably say these like 4, 5 teams vying for fifth, four spots.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah, yeah. So I think all of that. Yeah, Raiders included. Raiders should be safe, but now their draw's a bit hard. Sharks draw's hard. The Knights probably have the best run to possibly push to fifth. I reckon they're four sealed, but I reckon the Knights will probably have the best run home to push for fifth. And then what are the Rabbits' draw looking like? The Rabbits may even sneak into sixth if their draw looks good.
So they got to buy, right?
So they have the bye. Oh, no, not this week. So they've got the Dragons and the
Yeah, easy one for
Knights,
them.
then a bye, then the
Ooh,
Roosters.
that's a dangerous game.
So yeah, Roosters. So
They could possibly win all those games.
yeah, so I guess yeah. So between those
Puts them
two,
on to
I
32,
think those two decide fifth
32,
and sixth. So
34.
the Knights and Rabbitohs, depending who wins that game, all going
Yeah.
well, I think that'll decide who becomes fifth and sixth. Um, and then it's likely to be either the Cowboys or the Raiders that push into the eight. Yeah, the Sharks off last week. If they keep playing like that, they'll make the eight. Probably seventh. I reckon Sharks will go
Well, that's
seventh.
their first good game for a while, the Sharks, so they needed
Yeah,
that.
especially with their run, because again, their run's hard. I think the Eels are done. Manly's done. Roosters are done.
Putting on the line through the
Eels are
Eels.
done. Yeah, line through the Eels, line through the Manly, line through the Roosters. Cowboys come up, and it's probably just going to be. Yeah, I think Cowboys will finish out the eight. Either the Cowboys or the Sharks will finish out the eight.
Hmm. Yeah, bro.
Those two, but then the Knights and Rabbitohs will probably be fifth and sixth, fighting out the order there.
Yeah.
That's my prediction for the eight. And the Warriors finishing minor premiers. No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't see the Panthers dropping anything off the back of what we saw this week.
yeah.
That was the only way that I thought we could get a good run with these last few games. But
I think the Panthers got the minor premiership sewn up, and then it's the best of the rest.
yeah, so I think it's between us, between the Warriors
Hmm.
and Broncos, who gets that home final.
Hmm.
That's the only other position that possibly might change. Nice, bro. All right. Before we jump into next week's games, let's thought I'd just go quickly over to our Isaiah Kalava Memorial Cup and quickly congratulations, mate.
Sure,
Minor
bro.
premiere for our comp.
Hey, hey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Also,
Mate.
we've reached the finals part of the competition, bro. So the fixtures are looking really well. But yeah, brother, I ended up Bronx ended up top of the table. Got my handy from Kim. So thank you very much.
Can
Yeah,
you
no, it's
explain
just
this comp
been a
a
good
bit to me
squad, bro.
before we go on to so you ended up with 28 points equal. So how do you end up winning,
Mm.
mate? Your points differential was a bit
Oh,
less. So
points different. No, it wasn't. No, I think I scored the highest
you got 632 points differential. Ah, is it your total points maybe?
total points scored. I think
Yeah, must be four
that's
because you got
yeah.
12 8
So
5 5 4, and Mike got 12 7 5 7 4. But then your against was
yeah,
higher. So your differential,
scored more points.
so maybe this comp's a bit rigged. Maybe I think Mike should have actually won this.
Big ups to Nico Hines, Carrigan. I had guys
Yes,
like
yes, you were the
Zags,
you
Edwards,
were the first pick.
Nickel
You
Klockstad,
had first picks of our
um,
fantasy league actually. Yeah,
Frizzell and Martin. That was quality, average 40 points plus per game. The odd 50. Marshall King was huge for me at the start. He was averaging 50 plus easy. So I haven't had to make too many trades, bro. But I'm a bit concerned at the moment because some of these teams are coming home big time
yeah. If we look at
with
the
especially Cam's Clutch City
yeah,
and even
Caruso or
Denny.
Danny. Yeah, so let's just
My
call out
guys, that's
your other players from that top six. So this comp top
well.
six go through.
We've reached the yeah, we've reached. we've reached the finals of the competition. So the top six was myself, God Squad, the Mighty Bronx Squad, and then Clutch City Official versus I Guys, the first semi. Simon Mandingo versus All Madden. They're in the other elimination final. So that's our top six. God Squad and Mighty Bronx get the get the week off. And a special mention to our 7th to 10th place teams, Golden Elites, these Nuz, this year or next. And our winner of the Spring, our ultimate Sea Eagles, Roger, the manager for that team. So thank you very much, Usos, for your contribution. See you next year. And congrats on the list, the top six that are left over, and good luck to this week's
Yeah, this
games,
week's
bro.
games.
Who you got? Who you got? Mandingo versus Clutch City. You guys, oh no, Mandingo or Madden?
Yeah, Mandingo
Clutch City and I
Madden. This
guys.
is looking like a good matchup. Pretty good looking teams as well. Um, Mandingo
Moses
taking Kalen Ponga as the
Ponga
captain.
for Mandingo.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna be dangerous. Ponga's been scoring huge.
Some
So
decent
I'm
teams
gonna say
there.
Mandingo for this one. Papali'i, nice. Dylan Brown's due for a big one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think Papali will take that one. So I mean,
Who you got?
yeah, I reckon Samoan
Or
Mandingo will
Madden?
take that.
Next game's gonna be a good game as well. So we've got Clutch City versus I guys. Who you got?
Mate, our guys are stacked. He's got all my players offloaded.
Johnson. Johnson and Hughes.
Johnson and
Wow.
Hughes.
Ramian, he would have
He's
scored
got
big last.
Latrell,
So
Reese
look at his back.
Walsh,
Look at his back four, bro. What an
Latalo,
eater.
Jesse Ramian.
Walsh, Mitchell.
Oh,
We
he's got Tupou on
That's
his
some
bench,
serious
mate. Put Tupou in
salary cap breaches in that squad, bro.
there. Yeah, I think
Um,
this might be a late run for the eye guys. I think he's going
our
to take out
guys
Clutch
could be a
City, man.
smoky. Our guys is a dangerous
Yeah,
team. Clutch City, yeah, bro. They've been coming right at the right time. He's got his captain, Funor Blake. Not bad. He'll hit a hundy. Not bad of the team. Manu, Garrick, Tedesco. I'll give it to our guys in this one as well.
yeah, nice. Who you most worried about for that
Tuning next,
final, mate? Who would you least like to come up against
uh,
out of these guys?
our guys, bro. We're just looking at the lineup. Our guys,
Oh man,
Johnson, he's dangerous. There's a quality squad. Like I said, it's controversial, especially if he goes and takes it out. Could that be like another Melbourne Storm incident involving yourself with these
hey,
trades?
the trade windows are there for a reason, mate. Gotta go
But
talk
why
to
would
your
you just
agent.
unload your better
Yeah, I don't know.
teams?
Like I said, I bossed it. I thought it was still had a week to run.
And you didn't even have a game left.
Oh, I had a week to run.
Oh, you had one more
A week,
game left.
yeah. That's why I bossed it. All right, let's
You tanked on it.
let's get over that and look ahead. All right, coming up to this week, tomorrow night's game, kicking us off. Um, Eagles, man, we see Eagles to try and keep their hopes alive against the Penrith Panthers. How you seeing this, man?
So the easy win to the Panthers. Sorry, Roger. Sorry, Cams. But one game me see Eagles, mate. You know, another underperforming season, and you know they could prove me wrong, but nah, they just look like a build-ups team to me. Easy win to the Panthers.
Sharks Titans. Sharks coming off the back of a very
Who
good
you
win.
got, bro, on this one, man?
Man, the Titans, yeah, they nearly got us. Looking at the ladder, like they're real Faleanga mares now if they beat the Sharks.
Mm. Where's that game?
This game is over.
Dino's back on this one.
Oh, is he? Oh man, this is a. See, that's the thing. I don't think Titans have enough
He's been on
time to get
suspension.
through and win this.
They lost Mo, but they got Tino. He's a big
Yeah.
end.
Um. Man, I reckon the Sharks will take this. But if the Titans win it, yeah, the Sharks drop out of the eight. There's no reason the Sharks should drop that game. They need to be playing with everything. And off the back of last week's performance, there should be no excuses. We know they've still got it. There's nothing wrong with the team. So yeah, maybe Nico's just shaken off the origin hoodoo that he had, and he's come right at the right time. Hopefully, your thoughts? How you seen that one going?
Bro, Titans for the upset win. Also,
Oosh.
I was
I'll
very
write that
impressed with
down.
their
Make
effort
sure and
last week.
get that on record.
Upset for the week, but like it was a good performance for the Warriors to catch them back. But I think they showed enough fight in their game for me. The Jaden Campbell had a good game. He's dangerous, so they got some good outside backs there to be dangerous. So yeah, bro, Titans for the upset win, bro.
Nice. Your game next, mate. The Broncos and the Eels.
I think this one's gonna be
Expecting a fight in this,
the
or
Broncos players. Nah, I think the Broncos are gonna absolutely massacre the
hey.
Eels. There's gonna be 40 plus
Oh,
points.
big call, Dylan Brown and
It's
Mitch
just
Moses. They
it's
played well
just
last week together.
they're not far from their. They finished their opportunities, capitalised, and I think they're going to be without Reynolds as well.
Again.
But we saw enough in Madden to if he does his job, kicks to the corners, they got enough firepower there to
Interesting.
score big. And so they're confident as well at the moment. And I just think Eels they'll still have to defend well because Eels got dangerous players like Dylan Brown, Moses, Gutherson. But I just think up in the forwards, we were going to be too much for them. We can go to another level, man.
RCG still out? Still on suspension? He
I
is.
think so. No, he wasn't. Wasn't. Yeah,
He's still down there. Okay.
yeah.
I'm no, I'm actually gonna pick the Eels to kind of make a start.
Mm.
Try and
What didn't you just say? Didn't you just say you're going to put the line through them?
oh, they still won't make it, but I just want them to win this game.
Oh wow,
No
wow.
Reynolds, mate. I
Is
think
that
that was a
some?
test last week.
That's
It
some.
was a different.
That's just some random left field
No,
haterade
no, no, no.
for
You
the
see, the
Broncos.
the
Like, what
Cowboys last
evidence do
week,
you have
they
that?
they were off. They, missing a few
First, you say the
players.
Eels put a line in them, but yet
Oh, they've still got hard
you don't
games to
think the
come.
second place team.
I'm just not
Wow,
convinced that the Broncos without Adam Reynolds. I think this is going to show it.
really count.
Prove to me you guys can beat the Eels without Adam
I
Reynolds.
think we just go
Let's see our
back.
Cowboys.
We do have you on the recording admitting that. So this is quite a left field, almost like I said, almost smell of hater rating on the Broncos. The Broncos have been smashing everyone lately, and you think like a ninth place Eagles are going to win? Come on, mate, pull your head
No,
in.
you beat the Cowboys who are 10th.
Who are a dangerous team?
All right. Rabbitohs Dragons. Rabbitohs to keep their hopes in the 8, and the Dragons to just
Have to,
continue to be
have
Fale
to.
Lamere.
They got to win, bro, and I'm going to pick them to win. And it's going to be a tough one for them. Their forwards going to be tested. Dragons, they're capable of fighting out there, but I just think Rabbitohs will be too hungry for this.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rabbits as well, but man, the Dragons showed a lot last week. 4 Ravalawa tries. Man, there was that real. Well, did you see that move Ben Hunt did to set up one of those
Mm,
tries? It looked like an inside
yeah,
ball.
bro.
It's like, oh, this guy. So yeah, I think Rabbits on that one as well. Warriors Tigers, the
Mm,
desperate Tigers on their way for another spoon against the Warriors at home. Oh, against the Warriors at FMG Stadium. Road trip.
no, I think isn't this one of those ones that the
It's a
Tigers home
Tigers home
ground, but
game. Yeah,
they
yeah.
have it over
I think it
there?
counts as Tigers home game.
um, this is going to be a high quality game. I think the Tigers have shown they got attack to be entertaining, and it could be a high scoring game in which the Warriors take it. But Warriors don't have the best um, history outside of Mount Smart Stadium, eh, bro? On the road
True,
back
yeah,
home.
around New Zealand. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Napier, they
what
lost.
the stats are, but you'd have to think it's an easy win to the Warriors, bro.
Yeah, yeah. We'll go Warriors 13 plus on this. Couple of teams trying to keep their hopes alive. The Roosters and Dolphins.
Roosters for me, Roosters in a close game. Dolphins, one of the best fighting on
Yeah,
their teams, but they'll fight to the end.
yeah. So it'll be interesting again. The Roosters haven't quite settled. Looked really good again last week. Yeah, I think the Roosters. But that should be another good one just to watch these guys if they're gonna be fighting Lemirs. then again, it could end up just being a messy game. We'll see. Storm and Raiders, fourth playing fifth. So these guys are really just, yeah, rallying for position. Both on 30 points. So toss of the coin. Storm off a real disappointing loss to the Panthers. And the Raiders not looking so hot, just getting by last week. What are you thinking on this one? Who bounces back
But
better?
important game for both teams. They're both on 30
Hmm.
points. Storm got a way better points differential. Raiders don't have the best either, but if the Raiders can keep winning, they'll make that four. So it's an important game in terms of that top four makeup. Storm, you'd think you don't really see the Storm lose two in a row.
Yeah, Jerome
So the
Hughes
Storm
back
at
as well.
home, I haven't seen that. He is back, is
Yeah.
he? So you'd have to say the Storm, bro. But the Raiders are one of those teams that can drag teams down to their level,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Have that kind of arm wrestle kind of game. Can be in the fight. So I don't think the Raiders fear the Storm at all. I think they're capable of upset. I think maybe too much class and points in that Storm team. So Storm should take this out in a close one.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. I'll go Storm on this one as well. Um, yeah, up at Amy Park, I think the Storm, like you said, too good not to bounce back and have a back-to-back loss. So yeah, it'd be really good to. That probably might be one of the better games of the round, especially for a nice Sunday afternoon game. Cool. And finishing out the round, man, what probably I think these two played only a few weeks ago, the Knights and the Bulldogs, and we were yawning then, going, "Oh, who's going to watch this game between probably back then 15th versus 13th?" Now we're looking at the Knights in 7th playing the Bulldogs in 15th. Are you seeing
Mm.
this, man? The Knights continue their roll on.
Um, oh, big time. I like the style of play that the Knights are bringing, bro. Crossland, that a lot rely on their forwards. For Safidi, Thompson, Frizzell, and Fitzgibbon can keep them rolling forward. Guys like Crossland's underrated nine at the moment. He's another one that's good playmaking. Jackson Hastings hasn't really got the reps as other sevens, but he does what he has to for the organising of that team, and he allows Gamble to play his own natural game with actually like Ponga doing the
Mm.
playmaking instead of Gamble, who's that running 5'8" slash back rower. So with these outside men, bro, like with Young, Gagai, Tuala, and Maju on the other side,
Man, Marju's been.
um, they got the attack to shake up the comp, bro. They should win comfortably,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another hard day at the office. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be one of those ones again. We're going to be talking about Serraldo as the defensive coach getting a shellacking from an informed Knights team. So yeah, if anything, I think it'll be a Knights win, but I'm hoping for the Bulldogs at least can keep it close and competitive.
Mm.
Um,
Probably their best lineup. They got Max King and David
yeah,
Banga
Cacao
Jr.
back
at the
in.
front now. Kiko back, Marnie with Marnie there, so closer to their best team on the park. So I hope to see
Interesting. Did you watch that? Was it
the
last
doggies
week or
show
the week
some fight,
before
man.
they pulled Reed Marnie started from the bench? Yeah, not sure what that was
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I don't know why they did that because I didn't think Flanagan.
Uh, well,
I
yeah,
don't know
that
why
that
they
went
keep
that went horribly wrong.
giving
Yeah,
this guy game time. Oh, he a hater and a player, but I wouldn't start him over Reed Money, man. Come on.
yeah. So I don't know what happened there, but I'm glad to see him back starting. You know, you don't buy players from other clubs on big money just so you can put them on the bench.
Mm.
Yep.
So it's a good run coming
Yeah,
up, is
yeah.
it?
So it's another team and yeah, another night's win putting down as well. Nice wrap, Wolves. Anything else from the week, man?
No, brother. It's been good. It's been a good. Like I said, any of the listeners up there who enjoy a good read, get onto that West Network website, bro, and I'll try and get on those social platforms because getting your comments is really cool feedback, especially Pacifica Heritage players and their
Mm.
prop forward. You got a few more out there that I've missed. Um, Give us a comment, bro, and who knows, we might even do like another position. It's always good fun doing those. But yeah, bro, thanks to you guys for the network. Cam's all hard work, bro. Good to be involved also.
Yeah, shuttles. Yeah, just shout out to our producer Cams. Had a write up on Tangata Pacifica. So he's doing great work and starting to be seen. Yeah, so shout out to our producer Cam Schuster and all the work that he does for the Wiz Network. Check us out, wizwiznet.com. Check us out on all the socials. Check out all the other podcasts too. Shout out to the Afakasi Scoop. Just got another episode out the other night. And also the 135 playlist. I heard them, they've got a new episode as well. So go listen to them and all our other podcasts on all your podcast streaming channels. Shoros, another good episode. Thanks, man.
Jackie, pass us
Shoros.
what?
Ah.